Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Third Wave Trades. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. This is a stock that I believe has a lot of potential, a lot of upside. And so we're going to get into it in terms of the Elliott wave count and what I see playing out based off of the technicals. But first, if you guys could do me a favor, hit the like button down below. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel if you guys want to see all the different stocks that we analyze based off of technical patterns and using methods such as Elliott wave and Wyckoff. And then make sure you guys hit the bell notification icon so you guys can be notified whenever I drop a video. Secondly, guys, disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research and or consult with a financial advisor before making any trading or investment decisions. All right, guys, so let's go over Palantir in a couple different ways. But before we do, actually, I just wanted to mention, I'm sure you guys all know this, right? Kathy Woods, who's ARK Invest, she's been big on Palantir, and she's also been big on Tesla. Everybody knows that. But she dropped about 14.5 million of her Tesla shares, and she picked up Palantir, right? So obviously we know the move that Tesla is making. We talked about it in the last video, and I will be dropping a complete Tesla analysis video. It's probably sometime this weekend, so make sure you guys check that out. But right, Tesla is on this massive run and she sells. So what does that tell us, right? I think it tells us that she knows that Palantir is going to make a massive rally soon as well. And obviously, given the price that Palantir is at, it just makes more sense, right? To unload Tesla while she's up and get into something that also has huge potential upside, because I do see it making a similar move. Obviously not on the, on the same scale, but a similar type of move given where the stock is at right now for its price. So I think that's that's important to note. And the technicals kind of are showing the same thing, right? That Palantir is getting ready to make a big move. So the first thing I want to show you guys is this red line right here, right? So this red line that I have drawn up, that's the 30-week simple moving average. And that's what we use in stage analysis. Stan Weinstein, if you guys are not familiar with him, he talks about stage analysis, where you have your stage one, where you are basically kind of in this consolidation phase. And it's essentially just another form of like Wyckoff, right? So you're in this consolidation phase, you break above your 30-week moving average. And then that's kind of like when you get into your uptrend, that's your stage two. You kind of level out, that becomes your stage three, consolidate, and then you go into your stage four, which is your descending or downtrend. And then you kind of just repeat the steps again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's how the market moves, right, in cycles. Now, we're kind of at that point right now where we could be either in a stage three, right? You can see that we're touching our 30-week moving average. We kind of bounced off of it, but we could just kind of like consolidate over here and then break down below it. Or we could actually just continue to push higher and just keep, moving along with that 30-week moving average. So that's kind of what we need to see. But as of right now, so long as we are above that 30-week moving average, I will be bullish, right? Like I said, we got that bounce above it. So there's no reason to be bearish for now. The question is, how is it going to react in the future, right? So is it going to, again, consolidate, or are we going to push higher? Now, the way that I would like to look at it is through Wyckoff. So over here, you guys can see down here we had our accumulation channel. We broke out, and then we broke out with volume. Over here we had our we reaccumulated, and then we pushed above, right? Something very similar to what Tesla just did. Tesla was in this reaccumulation channel and it broke out, and then it had its uptrend move again. So Palantir had something similar. We can actually go now to a smaller time frame. Let's go to like the daily, right? So Same thing, we had our buying climax, automatic reaction, secondary test, our creek, jump across the creek in phase D. And I believe that we are starting this uptrend move now after we reaccumulated down here. But essentially this also kind of just becomes a reaccumulation, this green channel that I have drawn. So it is possible that, now that we are reaching the top of this channel over here, that we could come back down for another test or a last point of support before we go higher. If we break above this channel, then I believe the rally is coming, right? So again, just like with Tesla, you guys can see over here, we got to the top of this channel and we kind of consolidated here for a little bit, right? So this is Tesla now, guys. So Tesla, we got to all the same phases, all the same moves, right? Buying climax up here, automatic reaction, secondary test. Here's our creek, here's our jump across the creek, and then kind of consolidated toward the top of the channel, broke out, and now we are in our uptrend move. So same thing over here. We are now we want to see how we react at the top of this channel. Will we get rejected and come back down? Will we kind of just sit here for a little bit? If we sit over here and consolidate at the top of this $26, $27 range, to me that's a bullish sign. It's a sign of strength. It's showing that buyers and sellers are comfortable with it being at this price range, as opposed to it just getting shot down right away. And that would be bullish to me. That would tell me that I would just be waiting for a breakout to happen and then go long from there. But I do want you guys to be careful over here because, again, it's still within this range, right? So there's nothing stopping this from just coming back down. And also, I'm very weary or suspicious about the volume, right? The volume is not there right now as well. So just kind of things to keep in mind. So with that being said, I have a couple different scenarios. Both of them are bullish. One is more bullish, and one is slightly less bullish, but still bullish in the long term of where Palantir is headed. And we can use the wave count to sort of figure that out. So again, we're in this accumulation or reaccumulation channel, and a breakout above this would lead to an uptrend, right? So now let's analyze what that possible uptrend could look like based off of Elliott wave. All right, so the first scenario that I have over here for the wave count is what I would call the more bullish scenario, right? And that's saying that this is this is going back to the lows now of 2023, early 2023. This was our lows around roughly $6, right? So you had your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this move right here would be kind of like a running flat. So you have your A, your B, and your C for your second wave, and then this is your first, second, and now we are starting the third wave move, which should be extremely impulsive. If like I said, if we get that breakout above that channel, then you'll get your 4 and your 5th, and we're essentially looking to complete this third wave move, right? So again, what would that look like? That would basically be, this is your first wave, this is your second wave, and now we are starting this third wave move. All right, that's the bullish scenario. I have some reservations about that, and like I said, one of them being the lack of volume on this move up right here. Okay, so that kind of tells me that this could possibly be still a corrective move, and instead of being the beginning of our third wave, is actually just a B wave, kind of like a fake out. It's really just a head fake, and we're going to come back down into that channel, like I said, for a C wave before we go higher. So that scenario would look something like this. All right, so that scenario basically looks like this. It kind of changes up this wave count a little bit, right? So this is our first, second, this whole move is our third, this running flat is our fourth, and this is our fifth, and this is the top of our first wave, right? So the other scenario was basically saying that this is the top of our first wave. Both scenarios are plausible, right? So it's but I think to err on the side of caution, I would prefer this scenario, right? To be not overly bullish. So if this is our first wave, that means we have not yet completed our second wave retracement, and we are very likely in a flat pattern correction. So what are flat patterns and what do they look like? So I kind of have those drawn up for you guys so you guys can take a look. These are the three types of flats in Elliott wave. You have your regular flat, which is basically you have your A wave, you have a B wave that doesn't quite go back to the origin of the A wave, and then you have the C wave that breaks the lows of the A wave, right? So A, B, C, that would be a regular flat. An expanded flat, and these two scenarios are more bullish scenarios. This is by far the most bullish, but this is also very bullish, right? In these scenarios, the B wave actually takes out the origin of the A wave. So the B wave comes higher, and then the C wave actually goes a lot lower, hence the term expanded, because it's forming this expanded move right here. And it's bullish because it shows you that even in a corrective move, we are looking to go higher, right? And then the C wave comes back down, and you get faked out because you think this is the beginning of the rally because we took out previous highs, which we are really close to doing over here, right? This is our high around 27.23, and we're right there, right? So I just want you guys to be careful. I think that we could be in one of these two scenarios. And again, the reason why I'm saying that is because of the lack of volume on this rally going up. So I'm under the impression that this is probably this is our B wave, and then the B wave could probably go even a little bit higher, but ultimately it will be a head fake and will come down in 5 waves, either going just a little short of the origin of A, of how far A went rather, and then in which case it will be a running flat like this, or if we come even lower, possibly to fill this gap, right, that we left around the $17 to $20 range. We could come as low as that, fill that gap in an expanded flat, and then begin the third wave move, which will be a massive rally, right? So while I'm very bullish on Palantir, I think it needs to be you guys got to take some caution if you guys are going to trade this or go long, and just be aware that this could be a pump fake that's coming. Now if the volume picks up over here, great, I'm all for it. We break out above this level, like I said, that accumulation range, we break out or we stay here for a little bit and you see volume starting to pick up and then we break out, then by all means I would say that we're in that more bullish scenario in the third wave. But until I see that volume pick up, I think I would remain cautious and just keep in the back of my mind that there's the possibility that yes, we might take out this high over here and get to like 28, 29, maybe even $30. But without that volume, I think we would ultimately come back down for one more last point of support, and then that would be the place to go long. All right, so kind of just a quick overview of Palantir and what I think is playing out. Again, we are trading in a range, and as long as we can break out of that range with volume, right, I think this thing will shoot a lot higher. Now again, I'm completely bullish on it because like I said, we are above that 30-week moving average. It's more of a long-term scenario. As a short-term trade, I would say just make sure you guys are keeping your eye on that volume that we break. When we break this range, see how we react over here, and then a break with that volume would give you the green light to go ahead, and we could see and experience a similar move just like this on Tesla with this massive rally that came, right? It would be a third wave move. If I had to give you guys a price target on what could possibly happen once we break out of this range, I'll give you the less bullish one, right, just to be a little bit more reserved. Well, it's kind of hard because we don't have our second wave retracement, right? But you know, yeah, I'll actually hold off on the price target yet because we want to see if this second wave, where the second wave finishes, then we could use Fibonacci to come up with a couple of price targets. But in the more bullish scenario where we say that this second wave already completed over here, we could easily see this thing running to up to like $50, right? So this would be the top, this would be the bottom. A 1.618 to 2.618 would take us to around roughly $40 to the $55 range. So that's the more bullish scenario. The other scenario is still waiting to be played out. Like I said, what I think is more likely of a scenario is that this is our A wave, this is our B wave, and then we will get a C wave down back to the bottom of this range, or maybe even the middle of the range for our last point of support before we push higher. If we see the volume come up, break out the range right now, then it's just to the moon. So that's it, guys. That's all I have for this video. If you guys like the video, please do me a favor, hit the like button down below. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel if you guys find the content useful and helpful. Hit the bell notification icon. Let me know what you guys think about Palantir in the comments down below. If there's any other stocks, ticker symbols that you guys want me to do a video on, please let me know. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to upload a lot more now. So that's it. That's all I got. I'll be back with more. Peace.